Hello students, welcome back to geometry. Today we're going to find the distance from a point to a line. And this seems like it should be a really straightforward operation, but it's a little bit more complicated than it sounds. Just to illustrate that real quick, here's a line and here's a point. So the point is just one spot in reality, but the line goes on infinitely. So when we talk about where the distance is from the point to the line, how do I tell which distance? For example, is the distance from here to here, or is it from here to here, or is it from here to here? And there are infinite ways that I could do it. So when we ask for the distance from a point to a line, we want the shortest distance. And the shortest distance that we can possibly draw is the distance that is perpendicular to the line. That is the shortest distance possible. So going back to this equation here, this exercise, find the distance from the point 1, 0 to the line y equals negative x plus 3. So step 1, I have to ask myself, since the shortest distance is the perpendicular line, I have to ask myself, what line is perpendicular to y equals negative x plus 3 that goes through 1, 0? And this is the problem that we've already done before. So we know that in this one, the original slope is negative 1, and I'm going to put that over 1 so I can find the reciprocal, which means the perpendicular slope, change it to a positive, and then flip it over, is going to be positive 1 over 1, which is just 1. This is my slope. So now y equals mx plus b. I'm going to plug in my slope, and then I've got the x and the y. So 0 is equal to 1 times 1 plus b. 0 is equal to 1 plus b, and then if I subtract 1 on both sides, I get negative 1 is equal to b. So my line is y is equal to 1x minus 1. That's the line that goes through. So now what I have is, I'll call this my pink line here, y equals negative x plus 3, and then I've got this other line over here, y equals positive x minus 1. The next question that I have to ask is, where do they cross? Step 2, at what point do these two lines cross? So basically what I have here is I've got this pink line, y equals negative x plus 3, and then I've got this green line, y equals x minus 1. Let me just confirm real quick that I've got the right one. Yep, that's true. So if you remember your systems of equations from Algebra 1, we can say y equals negative x plus 3 and y equals positive x minus 1, they're both equal to y right here. So if they both equal y, that means they must equal each other. So negative x plus 3 must be equal to positive x minus 1. Then we can just solve this one by adding x on both sides. So we would get 3 is equal to 2x minus 1. We'll add 1 to both sides. 4 is equal to 2x, and then we'll divide by 2. X is equal to 2. Now, in order for it to be a point, we need to have both an x and a y. So now I'm going to take this 2, and I'm going to plug it back into one of these. So that would give me 2 is equal to x minus 1. Just kidding, I messed that up. It's going to plug in for x, not y. Y equals 2 minus 1, which is really easy. Y equals 1. So that means they cross at the point 2, 1. Now, the third piece is step 3. What is the distance between the point and the intersection? So in our case, the point that we were originally talking about was 1, 0. And our intersection point is 2, 1. So for this, we're going to require the distance formula that we learned in chapter 1. So distance is equal to the square root of x number 2 minus x number 1 squared plus y number 2 minus y number 1 squared. So labeling this x1, y1, x2, y2, I would have the square root of 2 minus 1 squared plus 1 minus 0 squared. So 2 minus 1 is 1, and 1 squared is 1. 1 minus 0 is 1, and then 1 squared is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, and the square root of 2 is the square root of 2. So, the distance between 0, 1, was it 1, 0? It was 1, 0. The distance between 1, 0 and y equals negative x plus 3 is the square root of 2. That's our answer. Quick little addition to this, if you want to change this to a decimal approximation, you could type that into a calculator. SQRT2 is equal to 1.414. So I could also say the distance between these two is approximately 1.4. That is our answer.